So, you wanted to P-shift, I heard? Hi, here is Silverback Kingdoms, and we are the dark side of the therian community. This website is about shape-shifting lessons and paranormal events. It is not for children. Now, today, we're gonna talk about the risk and consequences of any types of transformation. Shapeshifting is not for children. Shapeshifting is old, since the dawn of man. A lot of people don't believe in it, but the native people, for the native people and all the people that were there way before us, this is very real. Isolation. Misunderstood. You're crazy. It's not real. It's all in your head. Oh, you're clinical. Get help. Transformation is serious business, my friends. We don't laugh about the consequences and risk involved in practicing it. I apologize for this image, but it was necessary to show you the reality that awaits you if you skip steps or don't read this article, or worse. If you are going to put your life in danger outside at the worst moments of the season. Now, you'll tell me, oh, that's scary. Yes, it is. Transforming is serious business, my friends, but not to be taken lightly. It is scary, and it's always not what you expected. Never what you expected before. When it happens, it's so different than what you thought it would be. First of all, you need to know the risk. This video does not present all the risk, of course, but you need to think about them before you start. So this thinking can save your life if you decide to take it to the next level, which is physical transformation. Are you going to show others how you are changing jobs? What is your reason for telling others? Are you trying to be cool? Are you saying it to save yourself? Are they in the need to know category? Almost the most important thing is whether you will be safe if you say or show it. If you say it, are you doing it safely? For example, do you trust this person? Do you think she will react badly? Will she tell others? It must not happen. This is private to you, okay? This is your second life now. You must not talk about it. Do you think that if you tell the person, will you be safer when you change positions? If you're slow to transform? How do you think the hunters will know if you're a shifter, a therian, another kin? Or they will just think that you're just an animal that they can shoot. You can transform in time to save yourself. The hunters might kill you. Do you know what the hunting lesson is? The hunting season. Is it an animal that is illegal to hunt? So and so. Do you know if your skin is valuable? Be especially careful if something like that is true. Are you from the area? This can be a problem if you are not a native species. Like, they could tranquilize you because you're not supposed to be. They will think you're some kind of escaped zoo animal and you might panic. This can happen if people notice you were there. If you cause a disturbance, do you think you'll be killed because of it? This is no laughing matter. Do you know if there is anything in the area that could kill you at all? Like plants? Animals? Are there any poisonous plants in the area? If you touch them, will you be hurt? Okay, maybe we don't care about the plants, but there's so many things in this environment that could be harmful to you. Dogs without leashes, people trying to pet you, or a hunter trying to kill you, you know what I mean? And predators, animals, wild animals, taking you for a threat. Do you know what to eat in your form? Once you shapeshift, like, what do you know how to hunt or how to feed yourself? What your animal even eats? Are you even sure that you are the animal that you think you'll be? So many questions that will all be answered in time. Stay tuned to Silverback. Do you know how to feed yourself? Do you know how to use your senses to protect yourself? How about your senses to find food? Do you know how to run away? Do you know your predators? What you think are your predators in the area if you are in? Do you know how predators would react to your presence, etc.? Or at least, how do you think they would react? If you think they could be deadly. If, no one cares about that. Let's look at the risk according to each type of shapeshifting. You have many types of shapeshifting. I'm gonna talk about the consequences and long-term consequences of both mental shifting, which is trying to become your animal kin with your mind, like entering a state of the animal with your mind. So the consequences for that kind of shifting. There is clinical lycanthropy. Clinical lycanthropy is a mental illness that occurs when you practice physical shifting without preparing your brain and body for it. Basically, you skip steps and went too fast in practicing physical shifting. That would be a mess. Your brain would physically be injured from too much conditioning and send false signals to your body. It makes you think you are physically transformed when you are not. And when you attempt to physically transform, your brain rearranges circuits and stuff, and the brain is like all confused. And while it sends the false signals, it's gonna injure your brain. Hold on, my cat is fucking stupid. Kitty! Shut the fuck up! Fucking cat. Okay, I love her, but she's really annoying. Okay, so you're going to injure your brain when attempting to physically transform yourself. We strongly suggest that you record yourself with a camera that is not connected to the internet for your own safety. And never show your recordings, videos, photos to people. And even those you trust, since you don't know how to secure your internet connection with a special government anti-spy wall. So yes, always follow each step and take your time. Change is not a race, and it's okay if you don't do it. Never be influenced by others and never show evidence. People need to respect your privacy and safety. If they don't, they are not friends at all. Okay, another consequence of mental shifting would be the moon syndrome. Wait, the other one was clinical. What the hell? Anyway, the moon syndrome is a placebo effect started by wannabe lycans and werewolf and fake-ass communities based on werewolf movies and TV shows. I will say it once. The moon does affect every living being with its energy, especially when it's full, and therefore might trigger a mental shift to you, for you, even a strong one. But the moon does not trigger nor force a full body shift, especially not force a full body shift. It does influence it to a certain level, but it doesn't make you slave to your own curse. You know what I mean? Because it's not a curse, not for certain types of werewolves, at least. There's a lot of species of werewolves. We'll talk about this later. Uh, the moon does not trigger nor force the full body shift, just like in the legends. If you are getting way too affected by the full moon, you might want to check your placebo effect patterns. Unless you don't know it's the full moon, and then you feel like, oh my god, I feel shifty, and you very shifty, like more shiftier than usual, and you're all pumped up, and then you realize, oh, it's the full moon, I did not know. Then maybe, maybe it's not a placebo effect. Maybe. How do you feel around the full moon and why? Ask yourself that. Is it because you know it's the full moon and you are set on going full wolf anyway? I'm going like full wolf form, or is it something entire and something or something else entirely? Another consequence of physical shapeshifting or mental shapeshifting too is public humiliation or impulsive behavior. Like having an animal or kin behaviors is pretty cool, but you can be intimidated, bullied by people if they get to know. Be careful. You could be making animal sounds or behavior, and people may wonder about your sanity. Avoid doing it at work, in school. Keep it secret, private. No one has to know since it's a personal thing and a dangerous practice. You have to be very careful about. Something I had to learn the hard way was I've mental shift way too much at work or in public spaces, and it resulted into me not being able to not whine when I'm hurt. It's a reflex. And things like that. Almost growling at people when I should not, and these things must not come out. Never. So be careful with that. Take your time, it's not a race. Okay. Animal behaviors, traits, and reinforced animal instincts. You might have reinforced animal instincts and behaviors, or whatever type of parent you are. Make sure you always control them, especially in public. So another consequence would be psychosis. Psychosis is the worst. It's similar to clinical lycanthropy. You can go mentally crazy after attempting a physical change too quickly, especially if you use drugs or alcohol during this time. Believe me, you don't want that. The symptoms are a drastic change in personality, memory loss, and destructive behavior. Some shifters fall prey to evil spirits and are easily influenced, so be careful. So another consequence of shifting would be depression, anger, aggression issues, or just issues with anger in general. It is caused by certain species, dysphoria, or feeling trapped in a world you don't belong in. Even too much mental shifting practice can lead to this. Stay balanced and in control at all times. Do not harm others under the guise of being another species that would be prey. This is not right. Species dysphoria. This one is sad and hard to live with, and a lot of therians and people struggle with this one. This can trigger panic attacks and depression. Basically, you feel like your soul is in the wrong body. A similar phenomenon happens to transgender people. It's temporary most of the time, but some people experience it on the longer term. And now I hear all the transgenders like saying, no, Therians are not like transgenders. You can go fuck yourself. It's exactly the same, you hypocrite. Like, how is your gender more real than my wolf identity? Yeah, I will stop here, so shut the fuck up. Okay. You have to keep it a secret and to be responsible, especially if you practice physical displacement. Shape-shifting. Be responsible and secretive. Telling people about it could end up threatening your life. The CIA, the FBI, they all know about us and they don't want us to bring attention to the media. Or they might end up kidnapping and worse. Okay? So this is fucking serious here. Don't try to attract too much attention. I have to do this. I hope this won't cost my fucking life. Because the government and local police could start investigating. Also, never harm others or yourself in the process. Lock yourself in your room. Or do it in a safe place where no one is around. Do not wear clothing, suspenders, or jewelry during the attempt, unless it's a very large necklace rope. Okay. Creature possession. This one is kind of weird and creepy. Your creature can take over your brain and control your body for short periods of time. There is always a risk of blacking out and harming others, so make sure you always stay in control and remember everything you do. One step at a time, no rush. And always be the most careful, because shapeshifting is real. Shapeshifting has a lot of bad consequences if you don't do it right. But if you're careful, then it's fine. I mean, but there's always that one time it's gonna slip and your guard's gonna be down. And that's when it's gonna hit. So, creature possession, your creature take over, blah blah blah. The call of the wild or wild syndrome. Consequences that people have for mental shifting, especially related to species dysphoria, when you become most wild and lose your humanity over time and feel the need to go to wild and natural places like forests, etc. You need to stay functional in the society as you have responsibilities and have financial consequences if you disappear from human sight. Also, if you are going to live in the wild, tell someone you trust and love so they don't think you are missing or worse. Also, come back to pay your taxes and do your annual money report. As much as you hate it, you don't want to end up in jail or in debt and owned by the government the second you were born. The only way to avoid this shit is to fake your own death. But that's not a good idea, and if you do it, make sure the people you love know it. Okay, reality check. Eventually, you will realize that you need to act normal and responsible with others, even if you are different. You are the minority, and it's no one's fault that you are stuck in the wrong skin. Now, you may suffer from species dysphoria or depression, but that is no excuse to make other people put up to you with your habits and needs. Like, everyone must respect others' needs. You live in a human world, a fucking human world, and like anyone who comes in a new group, happy or not, you have to adapt to your new environment, just like the wolf would do, just like your animal would do, just like your kin would do, probably, I don't know. It's sad, and it's the hardest thing I have ever done, and I'm still struggling with it. Practice shifting will initially drive your instincts crazy, but you have to learn to control and channel them. For example, therian wolves struggle with their excessive energy and can become aggressive and territorial with other humans who live nearby. Therefore, you must learn to control your strong instincts, to live with other people. One thing is certain, you don't have to submit to this alienating human life if you don't want to. Live a secret second life, make it your fun little secret. Or move to a place where you have enough nature and space. And live a life alone or surrounded by people who only love, respect, and understand you. It's not always easy, but there are always solutions to make everyone happy. Don't become a bully because you are a wolf with anger issues. That's no excuse for behaving that way. Don't act like a little pup. Don't shit in your neighbor's backyard, pardon. But yeah, don't do stupid shit like that. I've known some people who've done that. Don't disrupt humans because you don't like humans. This is so fucking dumb. Okay. Or move to a place. Yeah, okay. Don't become a bully. You need to respect others and learn to control that inner instinct that will make you jump out of the door with dark urges. This is not tolerated in the human world. You have to find a way in a sport, anything, another distraction to channel all that energy and to be happier. The possible risk and side effects of physical shifting, the one that are very, very specific to physical shifting. Public exposure. If you physically transform, you might appear in public on someone's camera, such as in the form of a wolf or something. Canis werewolf, to be specific. People might see you, so to be careful, okay? As time goes on, wolf shifters are easily recognizable on the web now. We even know how to identify one correctly here. Look at the book Wolf Shapeshifters. Wolf Shapeshifters by Silverback on Wattpad. Many shifters have been spotted, so be careful. The last thing you want is public attention, as it is dangerous to your very safety. Don't forget the FBI is always watching. And they kidnap people to make them shut the fuck up, then they pretend you're dead. So yeah, don't. Death, injuries, this is the worst of it. This is the worst of the consequences that could happen. The death or injuries made by other animals or even hunters or cars or worse, like bears and stuff, or other wolves or other creatures, even your own species. Hunters don't know the difference between a real animal or a shifter and can kill you by accident. Do not walk alone in the woods if you are an animal form unless you are 1000% sure that there are no hunters and it's not hunting season. Also avoid dogs, especially those that do not have the leash on, as they could hurt you. You could be seen as a threat and be attacked. Avoid all wild animals that you can't tell the difference either. If you come across a wolf in its territory, its reflex gonna be to kill you, so just be careful and go the fuck away. Don't try to be, oh, my wolf brother. You're not a human anymore. They might attack you. That's what wolves do in nature. They kill other packs wolves when they go into the territory. So don't, okay? Death injuries. Domestic animals. You are aware that the animals that could actually injure or kill you. Animals in the wild, domestic ones. Wildlife is not your friend, neither a Disney movie. And sometimes shapeshifters get killed. It is a very sad thing, but it's a reality. Are you ready for that? This might be an eventuality, or you could be tranquilized, traumatized, and sent back into a natural reserve with a necklace on, a tracking necklace. No, you don't want that. It sucks, okay? It fucking sucks. Oh, man. I really have sympathy for these shifters that got caught out there. Minute of silence. Okay. Don't approach any wildlife at all unless you're super sure that you know what you're doing. Point of no return is the one that is a bit less worse than being caught in public or kidnapped by the FBI. This one is like the point of no return or permanent P mutation. That is when your body says, I'm a wolf, I've been a wolf too for too long and I forgot I was a human. And then therefore I rewrote all of my DNA by accident and now it doesn't want to shift back. It is a possibility and it's very scary. These are nervous laughters, by the way. This is... Okay, I don't even know if I should post this, but it's better to do so to warn other shifters, like the people that go on the academy. And you just really must be careful, whatever your age is. When you physically transform too often,
and for too long you risk ending up in a more or less permanent physical form where you can type. But rest assured, the longest you can move is a few days, maximum a month, and this is an extremely rare condition. It is a possibility. There's been some reports of that, rumors more than actual facts, but who knows. Creature possession's been talked about. Physical pain. Yes, yes, my friend, physical pain. For some, this occurs during the physical transformation, and for others, all the way through, even in public or just during a mental change. These are signs that you might be ready for actual physical change. People who have extra limbs because of their parentage type need time to form their muscles and bones and may experience physical pain, sometimes intense. For example, wings take time to grow and they hurt. Some people don't feel anything at all, while others experience intense pain when they physically transform, which is always a risk. For most shifters, the pain is described as intense, but in a good way, and still bearable, while some people even become addicted to this weird pain, and just like those who get tattoos and become addicted to the sensation of pain. But I won't lie, there are also reports of people that have described the pain like a train, just rolling on their body. But I haven't heard that often, to be honest. The most cases are the bearable style of pain. Okay, awareness. You will eventually realize that you have to act normal and be responsible with others, even if you are different. You are the minority, and we already said that, so it's not always easy. There's always ways to make everyone happy. Don't become a bully. Minor physical changes over time, like growing teeth and ears. And that's pretty much it. Oh, the phantom limbs. But this is for phantom shifting. Phantom limbs are, like these soldiers who have lost a limb and they feel it. Well, it's the same for therians. We can have these feelings of paws that are not there, but like our hands feels like a paws and we feel it. But it's just in a scroll form, so yeah, that can be tail, it can be ears, etc. It can be anything. So, conclusion, transformation is not for everyone. You must have a soul that corresponds to your creature, animal, or humanoid, or extraterrestrial, or it will not work with a lot of difficulty. Okay, only a wolf knows how a wolf feels, and feels physically. Unless you're a native, had some blood of native shapeshifters before you and your ancestors and stuff, or that you've been taught animal medicine by them or other people like druids or shamans. It's a little bit stupid, but very logical when you think about it. It's not a kid's trip. It's real and dangerous and hard to finish. And think about it and take your time. You don't need to transform yourself to prove to yourself or others who you are in your soul. What matters is happiness, personal balance, and prudence. Now you are aware of the risk and consequences of transformation. It is your responsibility at this point to be able to make the difference between what's okay and what's not, but you gotta be careful in everything you do and overthink what you want to do. Say, oh, am I ready for this step? Oh, did I overdid it? Oh, did I tell people? Or did I show too much? Or am I ready for this kind of consequence? Because you cannot really return from these consequences. The only solution I found is trying to shift back into a human, and by doing human conditioning a lot, or just by being too busy with your human life and forget about it, which takes years. So good luck with that, and we are in no way responsible for anything that you will decide to do, or if any injuries or death occurs. We are not responsible. The academy is only there for educative purposes and entertainments. But all these things are real. It's not fiction. For those who believe and know and feel it in their guts. This is for you. This video is so for you. Be careful and listen. Always listen and be wise and overthink things. It's better than dying, trust me. Thank you for listening, my friends.